So I'm going to go out on a limb today, and I'm going to offer something that I think is pretty unique and has a lot to do with addiction recovery. And I don't care whether your addiction is to, alcohol, drugs, smoking, porn, gambling, food, social media, whatever it is. This is something I think you might just want to stick around and watch for a minute. So having a significant background in piano, composition, songwriting, arranging, all that stuff, I realized through my own addiction recovery that people process through their emotions a lot more easily when they have a really good way to fully express them. And before you go and scroll on to the next video and leave this, I want you to consider something. Whether you are a musician or not, I know there are most likely times, or one or more times in your life, where you have heard a piece of music or song, movie, soundtrack, whatever it may be, that was a source of inspiration or healing or happiness on a bad day or whatever else it was. And then you hear that song later on, and all those healing or inspirational or relieving feelings come back to your mind later on, right? So I want to help recreate that on a much more deep personal level. What I want to offer is a really special package that I believe will help a lot of people with their addiction recovery process. And since I'm not a therapist, I'm not professionally qualified to do anything like that. The most I ever did with that kind of thing was a course for qualifying as a life coach a while back. Wish I would have done more with that. But what I want to help you do is to reconnect with that innocent, childlike, untouched, pure peace, that joy that just needs to be unlocked again. And to show you what I really mean, there is a quick clip I want to show you that really illustrates this well, I think, from one of my favorite movies, X-Men First Class. Just give me 2 minutes of your time, watch this, and I'll use it to explain the rest of what I'm getting at here.
See that? Try turning it to face us. I believe that true focus lies somewhere between rage and serenity. Would you mind if I...
What did you just do to me?
I accessed the brightest corner of your memory system. It's a very beautiful memory, Eric. Thank you.
I didn't know I still had that.
There's so much more to you than you know. Not just pain and anger. It's good, too. I felt it. And when you can access all that, you'll possess a power no one can match. Not even me. So come on, try again.
Well, having been through that absolutely hellish addiction recovery process myself, and actually done a lot of personal and academic research on just how horribly addiction affects the brain and, you know, your neural pathways and everything. I believe that I can help find that point in your mind and your heart again. That was kind of illustrated there in that clip. And whether it's you or a loved one who's struggling with beating addiction, I think the songwriting process is more powerful than a lot of people give it credit for. Has a greater effect on the brain than a lot of people realize, just the process of creating that music. So I'm gonna offer the following. This is what I'm offering. I'm getting to it right now. I'm going to help you, or your loved one, if it's a loved one who's suffering from addiction, to write, record, produce, and release a song, wherever they want it released, that speaks to your own addiction recovery process. Now don't just keep scrolling, you know, now because, oh, I don't have any musical skills, I don't know how to do any instruments or lyrics or any of that stuff. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter, okay? Because where you lack in those areas, that is where my skill set makes up for it. All I need you to do is to, you know, break the ice. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know your struggle. You know, really dig down to the not so chewy, delicious caramel center of, you know, what really sparked your addiction and what's making it difficult to beat. So yeah, your skill set doesn't matter about that. I'm here to help with that. So I want to help you make this song that just spreads your addiction and recovery journey anywhere you want it to be. So to do this, I have a limited time offer page that you can find the URL for in the description. That's going to go through a little bit of, you know, surface level details to help me kind of get started with you, get to know where you're at. And I'm kind of excited to see how this turns out, you know. My goal is to make the songwriting process one that will help you or your loved one, once again, if that's the case, to really heal. And I think the songwriting process can do a lot in helping to kind of refocus and beat whatever it is that's dragging you down in your life, whatever the addiction may be. So any questions? Send me a message wherever you're watching this. Let's get started.